Teacher, Joy, you may start.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's marathon of DCH Level 8. I want to do a little bit interact with each other. So I want to ask first, can you type in the chat where you come from? Like which city, which country you come from? Singapore. I ping Singapore. Lai Ling, Malaysia. KL, Malaysia. Jakarta, Jakarta. Oh, Romania, welcome. And Indonesia, oh, Indonesia. Okay, Malaysia, Lengxi, Malaysia. Okay, welcome everyone. And I'm currently in China, Changsha. We have DCIG level 7 going on. And so it's very happy to be tonight's MC and to see that all over the world we have a lot of people share the wisdom. Yeah, and thank you so much to open your camera. I see Laura, and then Daniel open the camera. Thank you so much. And then I also feel like because we are online. Hi. Thank you so much for open your camera that we can see. Like Laura just finished your yoga, right? So because we are both online, so actually the only way we can connect each other is to open your camera so we can see and our speakers can see how you feel about this content. Are you confused or are you excited, right? So yes, if you available, please open your mic, open your video. Okay, so I'm very happy tonight to be the MC for our two excellent teacher and two excellent entrepreneur, and they both running a very successful business, and it's totally combined with our topic, automatically leadership. How to running a company, how to become a successful a leader by using the C system. So tonight we have Curling and we have Jacqueline. They both use this level 8 method to make their life, to make their career successful. So let me share tonight's topic. Tonight, our topic is a great leader shift from my side to their side. Leaders don't fail because they lack good intentions. They fail because people experience leadership from their side, not ours. Are you confused about this title? If you are confusing about this title, please type 1. If you are not confusing, please type 2. So I think there's some emptiness teaching here in the title. So we can expect from our speakers to tell us, what do you mean? A great leader, you will shift from my side to their side. Okay, so tonight we have two speakers. First one is Curling Chen, currently a location in London. And she is a London education consigliere and also cross-culture education bridge builder, and then also a parent leadership practitioner. So also I know Corinne is born in China, but now is living in London with her husband, right? So she now already in 18 years in London and 15 years in education. And so we want to hear from her how she used those system to make her London education constituent this business very successful. Also, how she can use this leadership to parenting a successful kid. Okay, so if you also have this need for this, you can also type 6 in the chat. I also want to know how to use the leadership to make my kids very good, easy, and then or maybe my kid is very behavior. My kid is doing something I always want to, and this is also part of our leadership. And secondly, we have another speaker. Can you start captions? please? I don't think I get it. Okay, you can type again. Sorry. Okay, and then the second, our speaker is Jacqueline. Jacqueline Ong, and she have 23 years in supplying clean, and also 10 years in coaching. And she also is our SIN assistant professor, and also use our SIN and DCIG wisdom to use them to do the coaching. So she also is very professional coaching, and later when she learns C system, she combined these two together to how to use the C system become a successful coaching. So if you also want to become a coaching, you can type 1 in the chat. I also want to know how to use C system to do a successful C coaching. I think it's very exciting that you can use this international coaching way, but give them the C system, right? It's very exciting, right? Okay, so this is tonight's two speakers, and I think they also really enjoy that if you prepare some question. So during their sharing, if you have any question, we'll very welcome you that you can type in the chat and then to interact and then with our speakers and to give them some intention. They will really like it. Okay, and then they are also very experienced teacher. So I think we can learn a lot from these two teachers. Okay, so if you are ready, I would like to invite Colleen to give us the sharing and to let us know how can she have so successful life, successful family, successful business, how to use this method to get two-way success. Okay, welcome, Colleen.
Thank you, Joy. Hello, everyone. It's nice to use English to share with everyone. And actually, I get this topic. I was really exciting. I said, "Oh," I told my husband. I say, "Do you know someone invited me to talk about great leadership, the auto leadership topic?" And my husband asked me, say, "Are you a leader?" I was suddenly question myself as well. I say, okay, I don't have an international business. I'm so sorry about that. I don't have hundreds employees. And can I claim myself a leader? Probably the person really listen to me will be my teenager son. Occasionally will be my husband. But I don't really know who will be under my lead if, to judge it as a title, I got leadership, right? Do you have the similar think about if you don't have a big company or a lot of employees and you wouldn't be a leader and you don't need learn maybe auto leadership. If you think you are not, same situation like me, can you type in 1, please? Yeah. Or you probably is already an entrepreneur and have a lot of employees with you. Let me see. Is there anyone like me? And then you actually don't have a huge company. Oh, thank you. Great. Now I can talk about my story. All right. Let me share my point with you. Today, we're going to talk about a great leader shift from my side to their side. And my name is Colleen Chen. I'm London Education Concierge. You may never heard about this title. I can explain what I do. What I do is helping like families who want their children coming to prestige school in London and helping them to get access it and also could be get the next stage or a better university, or even towards their prepare for their career. Okay. And then, but I'm not only deal with applications to university or to top private school. I do be education consultant, and I could be the driver. I could be assistant. I could be, as a manager, and into managing. At the moment, I have 30 million pounds asset under my management, but I don't have any staff. Do you think it's awkward? How could someone don't have a lot, not climb in the leadership, but actually do a lot of different roles? If you wonder, I could say this is because after I learned auto leadership, I used the seeds to plant my currently job, which is never existed before. It just come out create in the way I wanted, or I was imagining I could do it. And so you were thinking, how, why you say this way? Okay, so let me tell you what I officially do is planner for education, family translator between Western culture to East culture, and school, children, parents, like different angles. And sometimes I'm just prepared, like companion the student for late night to meet a AC deadline. And sometimes I may just be a calm person to ensure the whole room for other people who is worried about the results. And also I'm doing the resort connectors between families, tutors, mentors, or other opportunities could support the children to get in the better place. And all this doing is because one of the tools in auto leadership is to talk about the definition. Leader is someone who knows and cares, knows where to go, and care about the people go with them, and have the strength to make sure everybody get there. This tool told me, oh, what is a great leader to be? Not about the title, not about the salary, not about, any fancy thing. It's actually about if you are the person who knowing where is the better place. Like, for example, on the surface, I helping the family to find a better school. I say, okay, this is the best one. I can search the league table, but however, I will be switch my side to the child side to think about, is this the school I want to grow in there? I want to make friends there. I will be thrive in there. And then I will to stay in the parents' side, think about, is that the best school? If my child go to there, could it be safe? Could be enjoy their childhood? Could be have a more opportunity to explore more things? Because of this kind of switch side, I will be standing in the children's side or the parents' side, even sometimes in the school side, to find the way to let them, everybody could be consider their positions, and then to think about what we could do and then make a better plan for everybody in this part, in this event could be successful. And then the starting thrive, and then everybody find there the perfect position for them. And then they will start to think about what their strength is, and then what is they good at. They will be enlarge it to contributing this point. And then also, if they identify some weakness, and then I will be all of a sudden become another rule, like a planner and resource connector, to helping them to find the right person could support them to gain the strength and to complete this journey. So, and before this, I have to tell you something else. You may thinking what I do, I must have in like great background. Like for example, to be a let's see, graduate from some education, uh, MA or even PhD degree. Actually, I don't. Okay. I also not the my major was the doing fashion. Can you believe that? Okay, if you believe it, please type in 1. If you don't, and then you can say 2. All right. Okay. Someone say, oh, 1, 1, 1. Oh, but someone say 2. Okay. This is another point I wanted to share with you. Sometimes you will think, normally, if a family will choose someone for their precious child to guide them go through very important turning point in their life, they must choose someone conventionally have, good degree, a lot of experience, or maybe head of some great school. I'm not. I don't have a degree in education, not a large education company, but yet families trust me with their children's future. I was using this automatic leadership to standing on their side to think about what I could do could make them successful. And then because this intention and then this kind of care, they feel I really put effort to think about the best path for them. Let me share you what happened last year with one of my students. And this child doesn't like her swimming teacher. That's what their parents told me. And then every week, when she having swimming class, and then she will say, "Oh, my tummy ache. Oh, my headache. Oh, I have something, just feel uncomfortable. Can you write an email to tell my teacher I can't go to school?" And then later on, their parents just say, okay, she doesn't like the swimming teacher, or she doesn't enjoy swimming. So when I was involve this situation, I was hold the child's hand and then invite to go to the same swimming pool outside the school time and to experience what the really swimming experience would like. And I realized that swimming pool in that sports center, the water is really cold. The changing room is too high, not suitable her age. And then it's dirty. So this kind of environment and then temperature make her feel the swimming wasn't an enjoyable experience. Then, because I trying to stay in her side, companion her to experience what's the detail of those swimming class look like, feel like, and I understand why she refused to go to the class. So the solution is I was find a way to find a private swimming tutor for her and in a better, warmer temperature pool, and then to practice during the holiday time. Then something turns different. She started fell in love with swimming, and she doesn't want to get out of the pool even the class finished. And then after a year, she became the swimming champion in her school. So if I didn't go to her side to care about her feeling, like what the DCIG level 8 to talk about, like I have to care about her feeling and know where she's going, and then try to help her to get the strength to be succeed. And then she probably the whole life, everybody will be thinking she doesn't like swim. Even herself will think she hates swim, but actually it's not the real case. So that's the way I'm doing my job with the life tool in auto leadership, by knowing where the child should go, the better place for her, and care about her experience, and then go through the journey with her, and then find the way to let her to gain the strength to achieve the journey, to get the destination. So it's because this kind of caring, and then people, the family, they will see I actually care. They will feel safe. They giving their children's future to let me to managing it. Okay, so you may thinking, if I just put, before I lead, I put a child, and then I must be cross their side. So if that means if I really care a child, I would just let her do whatever she wants to do and then give her the freedom. Not really. Sometimes good intention isn't means good experience. From my side, I sometimes will feel like I'm willing to help, and I know what is the best. I push you because I want you to grow. However, after I learned the auto leadership, it's completely switch my thinking and then my understanding with what good intention is. I have to think about, and then I stay in the child side, and then to reflect myself. Do I let the child feel controlled, or do I let the child feel never enough, or nobody understands them? That's what I do when I was considered about leading them. I always standing their side from their view to see, oh, what on their position, to see the front, what the picture look like. I want to share you another story. Some people find me to helping their child go to a prestigious school because my son get in Harrow School, which is the prestigious school in UK, and they're famous by you know, educating great leaders of the world, like a prime minister in UK, or other entrepreneurs or great scholars. Okay. And then how I to let my son, uh, you know, 10 years old boy, to see where he would go, and how can make him care, and then how can him to gain the strength. One day we went to the Harrow School, and we sit the bench outside the library, and then we were talking about. I said, wow, do you know this school is making a great produce great leaders here. Churchill, who leading UK's people get victory and then win the war, and he was study here. And then my son was saying, oh, he must study really hard. I can't do that because I'm not academically good. And then I was just try to helping him to think, say, how about we try to get here, but in the way we don't need overtime to study, and then we don't need to, do a lot of mock paper, just in a family to get there, to be the role model, and then to show other children they can have fun while they study hard. And then maybe while you playing computer game, and also you could get in the prestigious school. And I feel like, wow, it's gonna be really cool. And I want to be the big, I want to become this kind of a boy, and then who can just play computer game and also can get in prestigious school. And then so because this kind of talk, we're starting imagine, and I started plan the journey. And then he really did apply the school. And then he really think about what is the great leader if a school produce good leader, and then what should I do to be fit in. So we was talk about the auto leadership together, and then to talk about, a great leader should be someone knowing where to go and care about the people go with you, and also have the strength to get there, and like a cheerleader, or maybe a coach, or maybe a teacher, or maybe someone just to go with them. And then he started to think about how could meet these three standards, and how could be a leader. And then one day he could be a role model, hero, and then to get in the prestigious school in the fun experience, but not in the hard way. So 1 year later, he got in. Of course, he met some difficulties. He wasn't good at math. And then we received the letter say, oh, we find your son not, strongly prove his math good enough. And then will you start next year again, or you're going to try it 1.5 months later? And then he made the decision, say, I will try really hard for 1.5 months time to improve my math. And then he found the way to improve that. And then he got the final offer. And that night, he was laughing while he slept. And then after so many years, we was together, like what we say about it. He started to share this journey. And then people asking him, they say, what you been asked in the interview? He said, they asked me what I can offer to this school. And now I was thinking, I will be offer fun for the school to let the people in there, let the pupil in there study hard and also can have a fun. So this answer give a lot of impression for the examiner. And then after he got in, they still talk about it with me, and then say, "Wow, the interview, the answer is so inherent and it's so fun. We really like him." So I think that time is because I share what is the great leader's definition from DCIG. And he really think about how could he bring the people he care and then helping them to gain the strength and then go to a better place. So if you wanted to be a great leader, even you don't have a big company, a lot of employee, or even you don't have the title, but you still could be a leader, guiding the people to a better place. Maybe it's your family member, maybe it's your child, maybe it's just yourself. And then to bring the better you to meet your current you sooner. When I first starting, I also want to share a story about when I first starting to come to UK. I was once a child on the other side. Sometimes it make me forgot when I first arrived in UK. I'm a newcomer. I don't know which school is the best. I can't understand other people's humor. I'm familiar with the language and the culture, make a lot of, it's not fun when I was experienced. Only now when I think back, it is. But now I helping the people who first come to UK and then to try to rebuild their confidence and direction them. Like a leader who know what the better place they could go and care about the experience they have and then support them to gain the strength. Once I become a mother, a teacher, an education planner, or a lot of different roles, I still remember the auto leadership, this course told me. When I wanted to be successful, I always trying to stay on the other side, the people involved. with me, and then think about what they feel and how they make them successful with me together. So before I finish, I want to say the greatest risk in education is the greatest danger is not knowing too little. It's believing too quick that I know what is the best for children. But sometimes it's on their side to think about what they do, and then to think about it together, we get successful. So now I'm thinking my time is up. If you want to know how to do it and what if it's success, and then I invite you to listen to Jacqueline's part. She will share her side and then what she thinks the great leader could be. Jacqueline, over to you.
Thank you, Corinne. It's amazing. In fact, I think you have actually just shared your insight from your job. I never know there was a parent-child education concierge. It sounds like an exciting job, and it is definitely not easy working with children and parent expectation. And indeed, you have actually shared with us, we really have to understand them, really to be at their sides, to be having them to pay you for this job. That's amazing. Thank you for your sharing. And I am totally in with you in terms of how you have been doing it. And I think that's a good job. And great leaders look at their sides. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joey, for your introduction. And then Colleen for why, we should be at the other sides of our team, right? So a true leader to me is not measured really just on their KPI and goals. In fact, it is about how they unleash their team. So this one question that separates the two, a great leader or a good leader, is really, if you could answer this, define your legacies. So tonight, we are really sharing about what's a leader looking at the sites from the team perspective, and what does that mean, right? So tonight, I'll be sharing with you from my corporate experience and from my coaching experience there now, a founder of a coaching company, what it's like and how DCIG Level 8 has helped me. All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Jacqueline here, just to introduce again and bring back the topic for tonight. Is a great leader, shift from my side to their side. And I'll share with you my perspective, what it looks like, all right? So I'm Jacqueline, as Joey has introduced to you, 23 years supply chain experience. Yes, maybe led into telltale signs. You may tell how old I am. I'm not going to tell you my numbers. Yes, 23 years in supply chain and 10 years in coaching. In fact, for my job here from a corporate leaders, I thought I was a great leader. But until really when I learned about DCIG automatic leadership, it was a real eye-opener. Be it being a coach trying to help people with their business, I really learned a lot more. And because of this level, the way we have designed our company and the way we want to start our company brand new and how to help our customers is really looking from our customer perspective, from our coaches' perspective, what do they really need so that we can really support that. And I just finished a workshop. I was telling Lailing when she was calling me because I was just running off from my workshop to rush here for this talk. To be honest, again, today our workshop and our company design, we still look at what it means from our customer perspective. So that's me. Let me just share with you. Let's let's have this chit chat here, okay? Don't be so bored, or else I'll be talking to my side. Chat with me in the chat, okay? I'm going to post you this question here. Let me see my guide. Okay, which leader would you willingly follow? Okay, a leader who gets results, or B, a leader who focuses on their people. Type in the chat A or B. Which one do you like? B. Wow, everyone on B. Don't you want A? Isn't results important? If a leader don't get results, what do you think? Interesting, everyone is typing B. But honestly, about option C, very good. How about A and B, Joey? True. In fact, don't choose. We should want both. It's a trick question, okay? I'm just trying to have fun with you. Let's have an easy, relaxed evening. We should have one both. If a leader don't show results, do you think they're going to be a leader in a company for long? No, right? But if a leader don't take care of their team and don't have the relationship, soon they won't have much people to manage, isn't it? So in fact, us, which is my perspective, my performance also depend on the leaders that can lead me to get me the results. So this is just a little tricky question to share with you. Actually, leaders do have their sides. And so although we talk about going over to the team sides, all right? So now the next one is a little bit fun, would be when I look at this topic for this shifting from my sides to their sides, what does it mean? Why is there this side? So I was thinking, good leaders get results, as I just said, right? Great leaders build people, but not forgetting, great leaders, while they build people, need to deliver results, right? So from the perspective of a leader, a good leader would ask, how can the people help me succeed, right? Because they do have their KPI and their goals to achieve. Because you cannot say a leader don't achieve results, right? But a great leader will say, how can I help my people succeed? When I say I help the people, it's also achieving results, right? Now, then when you have A and B, this is what I call, we have a transformation. How can I help them become leaders too? Because when you can get your results, when you can build your people to achieve the results, the next step is, can we think about building them to be the next leader? So that's, to me, is probably the shift, right? From us thinking about our only KPI, thinking about the people. How about the people being the leader? And when they do all the job, you can relax, right? But well, that being said. Okay, then the same picture as before, A and B, but let's look at the leader side. Honestly, at the leader side, which I call it my side as a leader, we do have our pressure, right? We do have our urgency. There is also expectation. There is also goals that we need to achieve for the team. And definitely a leader is not there just to harm the team, because they need the team to work along with them. So they do have their intention. However, when a leader is driving their goals and their KPI, very much they may be just focusing on that. Therefore, on the other side as a team, they may feel the pressure, they may have fear. They do have hopes too, right? Of course, everyone wants bonus, right? Think about it. If your team are not delivering the results, would there be bonuses? Maybe not. You know, in my old job, part of some of my bonus per year that we achieve, Singapore must have a 13-month bonus, okay? We call AWS. However, beyond the AWS bonus, we leaders do tie in with certain KPI. When we achieve certain goals, we get certain bonuses or certain shares from the company. However, that is also split for my old company according to the team. So if my team achieve the results, I get certain bonus. So does my team. So if my team wants to have good bonuses year end, they too then needs to deliver the results. So when they deliver the results, then they get the bonus. But imagine under the leadership of our team, if they don't get the results, they may not get the bonus. So they do have hopes too, right? So they do look up for the leaders. They have their needs. And at the end of the day, it's what they experience. In corporate, in any world, anytime when you're leading anyone, it's all about their experience, how they experience when they are working with you. Like Colleen says, she's working with the children, she's working with the parents. Be it, right? They all have the experience. So as a leader, what kind of experience are we giving them? So I remember in my corporate days, right, I had this directors that I followed. In fact, it was his sentence to me that I followed him from job to job. And that sentence was, he told me this, Jack, you need to be able to do everything I can so that I can move up and you're ready to take over my position. Just that simple sentence, it inspired me. I thought then that leaders is looking at me, I can take over his job. Then I was just an engineer being able to become assistant manager, then I can climb up that ladder, right? And that is something that I do look up upon because I thought that leaders would be able to bring me where he is going. However, that being said, I didn't follow him. I followed him from two companies, okay? From company A, I jumped to company B with him basically because of that sentence. However, when I was in the company B, I decided not to join him when he went to company C. Why? I was building my own progress, but I was really loving my job. I was so passionate about delivering the project and strategy that we have designed. And I want to see the success of the project. So I decided not to join him because then my thought was that corporate ladder wasn't important. Not that it wasn't important, but that's not what I was looking for. I do have hope. I do have needs. I want to see the completion of my project. Thereby, I didn't follow him. So a leader to him then would think I'm helping, right? He's helping me to move the progress. But I really feel that I've been a little bit controlled. Only when he move up, then I can move up. Then I was thinking that he's really pushing me to grow because he has a lot of expectation. How I should deliver the job so that he can move up the ladder. Being that I always think that I never be good enough. Only when he move up, then I can move up. Thereby, as a leader, he think he's caring for me. As me, I think he don't really understand me. Thereby, my cessations came at company B because I really want to deliver the project, not because I just want to move up the corporate ladder. So as a leader, he was a great leader, honestly. He was someone that actually I have looked upon. However, when I put myself in that position, I think I was experiencing, people don't experience the leader intention. He was good, but I do have my own experience with him and what I want to decide. So as a leader, when we look at this two perspective, right, we may have all good intention. However, not all the time our team are along with us. So what does that mean? In that case, if we want to really build a team that really follows you, or you really want to build a team that actually can be a leader themselves. This is actually where I experienced this and led you into this. This was like maybe 18 years ago. So I had already experienced a great leader. However, a good leader to me at my company B. So I was really looking towards my own progression. I want to grow as well, not just on the corporate level, but as well holistically as myself as an engineer running the strategy. So that's then was my experience. When I look at that and think back, right, exactly when I look at DCIG level 8, when I came to experience it, I felt that this is so important because the moment that if we can learn to see the leader perspective as well as the team perspective, our leadership begins to change. Because when we know what the team wants and we understand what that is, we're not only delivering results, as today I would emphasize, we are going to build our people. And the transformation part of it as a great leader is we want to see how we can also make them a leader, isn't it? So not just a follower, but a leader too. So to me here, when I step into level 8, I realized there's so much things I don't know. Because there is many leadership books, and I bet you I have many of them in my bookshelf when I was in the corporate world. I do read them because I was running team. But I have to say, they really teach me the science of leadership. But when I came to level 8, I realized leadership is an art because it is the relationship that we are building with people. It is the people that we are managing. And honestly, you and me know managing people is not the easiest thing, isn't it? There are so many forms, so many. So before I can lead anyone, I realize I need to understand myself. My assumption in the corporate days, my blind spots, my motivation, and bet you, I have a leadership habit. What I assume, what I think people should be doing, and what I have as in terms of achieving goals, they form my habit. And because I don't see myself, I only see objectively what needs to be done. But as said, leadership is an art. It is about managing people. It's about the relationship. So when I see that, I started to realize there is so much things I need to develop on myself too. So the journey for me, being what I call a great leader or a leader that is able to understand our team, started to change because my decision has changed. The leader who changed the world don't start with strategy, which was very much what I thought I was doing in the corporate world. They start what I call right now, if you come to level 8, is your foundation. The inner works of a leader makes everything possible. There are actually, to me, in a leader, start observing yourself is to have your self-awareness. Let me see why my slide's not clicking. Is to have a self-awareness. Understand what it takes to be a leader. The quality of being one. Are you one? Do you know? So you got to build it. So you may have to map your strength with your blind spots and what you have experienced the last time. You can't lead from a place you haven't explored. So if you are just leading results, building the team, delivering results. But if you today want to build a leader in your team, you yourself must have experienced that. But if we have not, so you can't really know what it takes. That's what level 8 taught me. In fact, a leader itself, we need to live with integrity. They say you walk the talk. If you say something, are you demonstrating it to your team? That is so important to me, right? Then Is a leader clear? How many times, sometimes, right, we think that, I don't understand my leader. Today he says this, tomorrow he may change his idea. But a good leader must be very clear. He is actually the compass, right? But if you are not clear, it's just like compass without a needle. So a leader needs to know what they represent, what they stand for, and where they are going. Are they bringing the team to achieve a great results? Are they building a great team that more leaders is coming out from the team? Where are they? What are they doing? Right? So I think I was looking at this, and in the last is I was thinking the leader needs to have confidence, not arrogance, but uncertainty. And then they need to build through their own knowledge and courage and able to take the action. Actually, to be very honest, it is non-negotiable truth that you cannot take other people's to a place where you never been before. You can always say, imagine that. But however, if you don't feel it, you don't know how to really bring them. Therefore, in DCIG Level 1, we have actually shared with you what is the leadership, how versus the why skill, the purpose of it. So when you learn that, you know why do I want to lead? And lead it with a clear why. So when you learn that life tool, you probably get your idea what is the leadership that you want to be. When you're clear, then you know when you develop the skills, how you can have the clarity to bring your people, right? The next one is very interesting. Life to teach us enjoyment correlation, the skills of being passionate about what you are doing. This is where I realized that why I stopped moving from company A, B, and moved with my leaders to company C. Not that he's not passionate, he's passionate climbing the corporate ladder, but I was passionate delivering the project. So it was different, but when I was enjoying my work, when I was actually really bearing myself, digging down, really working hard to deliver the project, I realized it wasn't the position, but I was a leader myself. I worked well with my team was motivated, and I realized that energy attracts people. So that's Life 2 for you when you are clear. Then actually, in fact, in DCIG Level 3 teach us about setback, how we emotionally, right, manage our situation. Do we get rid of our obstacle? How does a leader do that? That give me a yardstick. Who am I as a leader? Do I push down my pressure to my team, or I see it clearly and know how to actually remove the obstacle? And in fact, if you all know about DCIG, we have tools how to actually work on our obstacles, right? So a leader needs to have that foresight to work on our setback, right? Lastly, to measure me with all this is really the Life 4. Whether am I using the SITS intelligence every now and then? How many times we throw our pen away when we are reacting with certain things that we are not happy with, right? So it is a leadership, making the right decision, whether we are using the SITS intelligence every moment when we are looking at the situation. So if the more we are using our SITS intelligence, the more self-aware we are, we can think before we react, and likely we're going to get more directive. And because of that, for me, Life 2, 1, and 4 in Level 8 is actually what I call my yardstick, measuring myself, building within, being self-aware, and am I ready to lead? And what am I leading? It gives me the whole idea. So really, if you think about all this, have you measured yourself and look at it, right? Now, when I know where I am, I realize my leadership wasn't just on results, but was really building leaders in the team, then I realized what I need to do. And level 8 don't stop there. It gives us skills. And that is my experience with the next life too, which is really looking at their sides. To me, this 5 life tool here, if you learn, really helped me to really understand others, the skills, okay? If you are decisive, you know what styles to actually apply and serve the team. And usually, if you look at this word, public speaking, to be very honest, in my long years, since my tertiary days, I never liked public speaking. I was actually shy of the mic. When I look at a mic, I can't stop giggling. That was my first public speaking. But when you learn here, public speaking is not just like today, I'm facing how many of us here? 14, right? And speaking to maybe people that I don't know, you may be fearful, but I tell you really I've overcome this, not because I got 23 years of corporate experience. I never like it when I have to stand in front of people and speak in my corporate days. But today, I am at ease. I just rushed from my workshop, had my dinner. Sorry to say, I haven't even got time to shower. And I'm here speaking to you. And to be honest, I have these slides and a little bit notes in my, honestly, in my screen here to give me tips. But I may not follow my speech, but I am speaking to you. This live tool here has many aphorisms, and it really teach me that if we speak from the heart, not just from my mind in terms of the bullet point, but my intention today when I speak to you has actually removed my fear of public speaking. It's really very amazing. This Live 26 has helped me a lot in terms of presenting it in front of all of you, and I can be very relaxed basically because I did my little meditations before the speak was to say that the reason why I'm here to share all this point to you was so that you can benefit from today's talk. And that little has helped me to actually get the rid of my fear in public speaking. That's amazing Live 26 for you, okay? There's more in Live 26 you can learn. Now, Live 27, 8 talk about the type of management. 4 manners and then 4 modes of management. How can you attract people? How then you manage them? As a leader, we need those skills, isn't it? Not just because it's in a corporate world. To be honest, I've retired long from my corporate world, although I'm setting my small little company right now, hoping to grow. But most of my time when I was learning level 8, I was managing my children and my little home. But it really helps. How do I motivate my kids? How do I attract them? Then what mode, when do I do what style? Do I be fearful? Or what style should I use? And we use it on different situations, different people. That's the skill set. Last one, which is called Live 29, is a skillful mean. In fact, many a times we do have our KPI, we do have our expectation. But if you force it out on the people, many people don't enjoy it. But if you don't understand that and you do not know how to use skillful mean, right, it will be very tiring. Actually, you may not get your results. But it's called unexpected strategy here. Honestly, this was very interesting to me. Learn this live tool and get the skills, how you can actually turn the most difficult, maybe the most difficult team member or the people that you'll be working with into someone on your side because you understand it, right? So this is actually how in the level 8 that you're going to learn. To me, it's amazing, isn't it? So yeah, from day to night, you can really turn them over, Pei-Ling. So this is actually Live to 1 to 9 that I've shared, okay? And end of the day, if you think about it, what we need to do is to understand the transformation. Stop asking people, how do I get them to do this? But start asking, what do they need to become everything they are capable of? That question changes everything. All right. So that means empowering, right? Let me tell you, one, you know about measuring yourself, whether where you are, having your clarity. Then you build your skill sets, right? A good test to yourself is this question that I want to test. What do you think is the best question after you know what you want? Then you learn the skills. Do you know what is the best question to ask yourself whether you are a good leader or a great leader? Anyone want to type? What do you think the question I have for you here? Anyone want to guess? Guessing my mind quite hard, right? Let me get. It is if I were to lead by me. If you were your own leader, what would it be like? Would you actually feel excited, inspired that you are being heard, being understood, trusted? Yeah, easy and fun, appreciated, encouraged, or safe to feel? Are you the kind of leader that you may want to follow yourself? Isn't it? But you think about yourself, if you are the leader of your own leader, would you feel like this? Or would you think that you feel that you are being pressured, or you're being judged, you're being controlled? You think that you're not being seen, never good enough. Think about it. If you are your own leader, if you are led by me looking at my own leadership, where do you think you will score yourself? I'm not asking others to score you, but I'm asking you to score yourself. Right? I actually measured that. Honestly, I didn't score very well myself before me learning this system. I thought I really have given a lot of people pressure. I have lots of judgment, to be very honest. And I am a little bit control freak because I'm a perfectionist, a little bit OCD, if you know of such leader before, right? So I was really driving a lot of KPI and results. And I have to say, I'm very proud of it. My team do get very good bonuses. However, I do experience team leaving me. Okay, so I knew where I am. I know what I need to develop. I know where I need to go, right? So when we genuinely begin to understand how others experience us, something will change. We stop asking the question, how do I get people to perform? But we start asking the question, how do I help people succeed? I have to say, I thought I was helping my team being successful by achieving KPI and goals and results, right? I have a lot of budget to manage, a lot of targets to achieve. But honestly, I do experience people leaving me, and I didn't know why. It's usually their fault, not mine. But if I knew this long time ago, I believe I would have enjoyed more of my corporate days leading the team. So to be very honest, we should stop trying to create followers. We should start developing people. And that is where great leaders move to its next level. We are not just influencing, we are not talking about authority, but we are talking about empowerment. So this topic of empowerment, thereby you understand a great leader is about empowering others. And let me share with you, I never know, okay? In this level, a leadership transcends their influence and become transformative because they stop measuring success by what you have achieved, but start measuring it by who you have unleashed. every person who actually elevates because of these forces. And it actually multiplies. Honestly, trust me. Once you understand this, the people who follow you, the people who trust you, the people who engage you in your business or hear and listen to you, is basically because they feel that you have empowered them. So every investment that we could do on the people that we work on the relationship that we are engaging, will actually build the legacy. But more than what life tool did I learn from this? It's very amazing. In fact, it's the last 3 life tool in the DCIG, which I realized something very important that really bring us from just looking at things from our own perspective to really open up our perspective to look at their side. And the 3 life tool is this: an equal right to success. Have you ever think the janitor in your office, maybe the warehouse inventory controller, or maybe your admin, they all have the right to be successful. And their success should matters to you. Have you ever thought? Actually, I have to say, I'm a very kind person. I'm a very amicable person. I do take care of people. However, I have never think about their success is the equal right to me being successful. So when you are here, this life tool teach you how to actually look at that from that perspective, not only on janitor. In fact, your bosses, your leaders up there, they too have the equal rights. And if you can balance these tools of knowing it, you are actually in a very good place. This is actually a very amazing life tool for me. I have to tell you, I'm a kind person and I believe many of you are. But think about it. Have you ever thought of other success is as equal right as yours? It's a very amazing tool. The next life tool is another level. It's replacing yourself with others. That means really to be at that side, which is really on their sides, to be looking, right, from their perspective, understanding if you are there in that position, how would you really feel? And imagine if you are there and looking back at you being the leader, what would that be? If you would have really able to see through their eyes, that's another look, right? That was my litmus test. If you were to be led by yourself, what would your answer be? So this 2 life tool really, to me, is a very practical tool. If you have practiced them, you will start learning how to empower others. Lastly, life tool 12 is ask yourself, when your people, your team is there something worth following? Just like me, right? I didn't follow my leaders from that point to actually the company C. Basically, I just felt that it was a gap I didn't want to follow. So, I led with wisdom, create this impact and bring people to a better place. It's really, end of the day, a clear destination that creates your team member, and probably is the point where you start creating your leaders. So to me here, if you are in the corporate world or you are leading your own business, maybe you want to practice this. I can bet you this gives you higher retention. Likely when people see you, who understand them, see you having a great mission, they likely will not leave the leader. So as I say, if only I know this earlier, I believe my corporate days will be a lot more fun, right? So honestly, think about it. Today, I just shared with you all the 12 life tool, what it meant to me. Basically, what does it actually create was this. It actually bring me, oh, sorry. It actually bring me, let me go back. Yeah, it actually brings me 4 perspective of shift. The first perspective to me is really, when I learned this, I realized, am I the leader that people wants to follow? Where am I? What leader am I? So I realized there is so much more I need to build. And that is building myself. The next shift, I realized that I need to understand them. Then I will be able to build the leaders that I want, who I want to be, so that they can be with me, right? So from my self-focus to others' focus, I need to understand them. The next shift is this: when I understand them, then I can lead them better, right? That's to me being together as a team. We can empower them. And at the end of the day, this 3 to me is still delivering the team and the results. But the last one, which is Life 212, is really from me being personally successful, can I multiply and create more leaders? That is beyond just myself, them, but we are developing others. So to me, level 8, although it's teaching us about all leadership, this 4 perspective shift has really opened up my narrow sights of science of leadership to what it is really like for me to actually build a leaders. Therefore, the heart of the journey is to really understand them and then build the wisdoms together with them, and your consistency in terms of the action that you take will really spell through to your team. That's the 4 perspective shift that I see. Then let me share with you my little journey after I learned from this, right? Because as shared, I have the leadership from my corporate days. I really invested myself, I have to tell you. I'm one who, not say chase after classes, but whenever there are new leaders talk, when there are little empowering breakthrough, I will sign myself up. Even when I retire, I couldn't sit still. I went to learn coaching skills. Basically, I got my certificate. I became a coach. I was coach for 10 years. Then now I built my own coaching business, working with entrepreneur, executive, business leader. I gave everything I had to help people succeed. But yet, it wasn't really what I thought it was. I saw talented people. I know people knew about great knowledge. We have all powerful tools, even stronger intention. But something struggle for me is, what can I do to create that lasting change? What can I achieve in terms of results, not just for this while, but for them? And then to see them grow, and also to have a path for themselves. Honestly, I didn't see that, even though after I was a coach for maybe 8 years that time, learning this system and sawing it. It was a realization pain for me. I felt that I wasn't there until really level 8 has unleashed what I see from this to this. I realized that I need to really understand my client and the people I want to help. What do they want? What is the deep insight that they need so that they can sustain? Because I've been coaching people, right? And they still coming back to me. Coach, I need more time. Coach, I still see this problem. Then my question is, how can they sustain that? So I don't see that until when I see that I need to restructure the way I work with them. Was really understand my community, what they do, and what they really want. So knowledge alone wasn't enough. I need to build some change within myself. So I was really here. I was teaching, I was coaching, I was helping them achieve their results. But how can I become better? How can I make their result more sustaining? That means after this year results, next year they achieve it as well. That has been always in my mind after this level. Thereby, what I did was I stopped just teaching. Instead, I asked a different question. How can I really help them truly succeed? And this is where I am designing my company, my structure, the program that I get by was, what do they need? How can they experience me as a coach, as a business leader? How can I help them truly succeed? Thereby, I just finished my workshop. I look at the program. It was more how I can make my client successful. I thought it was a lot more to me, meaningful, and I really enjoy it. So that's where, my leadership in terms of me from a corporate world, whereby I only look at my KPI, how I can actually do that. Then even though when I was a coach 10 years ago, I was achieving results with my client, but each year they come back. Not that I don't enjoy the retention of clients coming in, but I always have this question. How can I make their result more lasting? How can they really work on their own? Even though if I were to come as a coach, I want to elevate them at a next level. So thereby, when I design my new company right now, working with two great partners, we are always asking this question. It's really a journey for me. I wouldn't have said that this is where I am before, but this is where I am today. And it takes me a journey for me to develop, to see myself, build the skills, keep practicing my wisdom and planting what I want to see. Then I can and I want to produce great leaders in my company, in my client. So this is what I can see, and this is what I really enjoy now. So over to you. What if is the next journey I would ask is, if the fastest way for you to become a better leader is to study how other people experience you? What if the leadership is not about being understood, but about understanding? What if your greatest impact comes from seeing the world through their eyes? What if next, helping others succeed is not a threat to your success, but a foundation of becoming a truly great leader? Think about it. We today here is not talking about adding more followers. Remember my story? I didn't follow my leaders, right? But what we want was to multiply leaders who go further than you could ever go alone. Honestly, the world doesn't need more people at the top. The mountain is very narrow. In the corporate world, right? But it needs more people who pull others along with them. So if this is what you can connect with me and this is what you think is inspiring, life is not just creating followers. Life is to have partners with you that is leading your days and theirs. Join me in level 8. This is a homework for you, okay? I have a little exercise for you. I thought this is very helpful for me. Is at this moment, it may change your life, okay? Think of one person. Now, have one person in your mind. Do you have it? Type for me if you have that person in your mind. Think of one person in your life that you would like to help. Who would this person be? Could be anyone. Okay? Now, the next action is not think what you can give them, but what would make this person more successful. Many a time, we help people But what I want you to see is what this person need to be successful. If you know what they need, then the question is, what can you do this week to help them? It could be anyone, it could be your child, it could be your neighbor, it could be your colleague, it could be your partner. Maybe they just really need your little help for them to be successful by just your single action. It could be listening to them, it could be giving them a little wisdom. Write that action down, then take the action. Honestly, if you were to be able to move from just looking at your perspective, but really go help this person from their perspective, understand their need and take the action. And if you have experienced that, let me tell you, your world would have changed because it has changed mine. My view of leadership, my actions of really helping someone, not because I think from my perspective, but when I think from their perspective. Try it, all right? Now, the next one to me is really this topic today for tonight is telling you, feel their world. See through their eyes, leave them better, and build the next leader. That's for me. And then last quote for you before I end is this: a great leader don't move people to their side. In fact, they move to their side. They understand them, they bring them to a better place, and they help them become a leader themselves. This is how I sum up level 8. In fact, level 8 teach me that I really need to see them on their perspective, and I have to be at that place, and I know where I want to bring them to a better place. That's from me. So I hope you enjoy my little presentation. And I saw Joey turning on, and she is somewhere else, our little MC. If you guys have any question, do feel free, drop the line in the box. We are happy to take them. Over to you, Joey.
Thank you so much. Yes, the time is a little bit chaos. So because I'm in the DCIG level 7 offline class also. So yeah, thank you so much, Jacqueline and then Colleen to give us this speech. Actually, I when I have time, I also hear a little bit of the teach. And then I really like how Jacqueline talking about if you want to become a leader, actually you need to help other people to become a leader. And then how to use our DCIG wisdom to really make you a leader, to forcing you become a leader. Thank you so much, Teacher Jacqueline and Teacher Colleen. And I want to invite Pei Ling. Can you help to share the screen? Yeah, and then our DCIG level 8 is upcoming, actually in few days, actually in next Friday, right? Actually, today is Friday. Okay, in 1 week, it will be our DCIG level 8. And Gush Michael Roach will go to Singapore to teach our automatic leadership. And this time, Gush Michael Roach say, he will teach is emptiness leadership, how to use emptiness to lead other people to see emptiness directly. And he will also teach us how to use the 4 area truths, the 18 teaching to teach you how to make yourself to see emptiness directly, and you're able to lead other people to see emptiness directly. Also, the super exciting is that level 8, you will get 2 level 8. One is the level 8 teaching from last year. All the recording, you can see it. And then this year, the new version level 8 you will get. So you buy one, get two, okay? Buy one, get two level 8. It's super exciting. Okay, so if you have time and if you're interested in this topic, very welcome to join us and see you in Singapore together. Okay, so Lastly, we'll take a group photo together. If you are available to open your microphone, let's take group photo together. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for participants. Okay, and please open your camera and then let's do 8. This is 8 in gesture. This is 8. Okay, put it here. Okay. Can I ask someone to do the screenshot for me? Thank you, Aiping. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Done. Let me take one more.
Okay. Okay, one more? Okay. Okay, one more. Okay. Thank you, Daniel and Laro. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Smile. Okay, done.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and hope you enjoyed tonight's sharing. And if you have any question or you have any feedback to our teachers, you are very welcome to share with us. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, Li Wei say if you are personal drawing, then it's totally different. Yes. Okay, thank you, everyone, and enjoy your night. Thank you so much, teacher Jacqueline and teacher Colleen. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Forever fun.